Now, students, our next topic is marginal propensity to save. Marginal propensity to save, as you know, that marginal means additional. So, this is additional propensity to save, and it refers to the ratio between the additional saving with additional change in saving with additional change in income. So, as our income increases, our savings also increases. So, with the increase in additional income, then definitely there will be the increase in additional saving also. This is known as marginal propensity to save. Now, marginal propensity to save means it refers to the ratio of change in saving to change in total income. Change in saving is, this is change in saving, and this is change in income. So, the formula of MPS is MPS is equals to change in saving upon change in income. Now, this is the schedule of marginal propensity to save. I am explaining you the schedule and the graph how we can calculate the marginal propensity to save. So, this is the income level, different level of income from 0 to 400. That is, income goes on increasing, and with the increase in income, our savings also increases. You just see that when your income is 0, this is negative saving because of autonomous consumption, and when your income increases to 100, again it will be negative saving because our consumption expenditure is more than income, and when your income increases to 200 crores, consumption is equals to income. That is why the saving is equals to the 0. And here, when your income increases, our consumption expenditure also start rising, but it is less than our income, so the difference will be the saving. The rest income left will be people are utilizing for saving. And when your income increases to 400, then 400 crores, then your saving will be 40 crores. So this is your savings, and this is the income of different level of income. This is additional saving with additional income. Now this is change in saving. Change in saving, you know that when your income increases, your savings also increases. So this saving increases in a constant proportion. That is, every increase in the level of income, your saving increases from 20 crores. That is, income increases to 100 crores and saving increases to 20 crores. So this is change in income. That is, change in income is 100 crores at different level of income. So you can calculate MPS. The formula I told you that to calculate MPS is change in S upon change in Y. That is change in saving because of change in income. So this is the ratio between the change in saving and change in income. So here the saving is change in saving is how much? 20. 20 crores upon 100 crores, that is 0.20 is your MPS. 20% of your income, additional income people are using for saving. So again, when income rises, so again your saving is 20. The 20 upon 100 is, that is 0.20 again. So in this way, when your savings, additional saving increases in a constant proportion, that is, at every level increase in the level of income, your savings increases 20 crores. So 0.20 is your MPS, constant MPS. Now, how you can make a graph of MPS? So this is graph. This is the graph in the, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. In x-axis, I have plotted income, and the y-axis I have plotted the savings. So students, you know this is this point is the income is 0, and this is the saving curve. Saving curve always start from the negative axis. This is minus s. Why it is start from the negative axis? Because always at the 0 level of income there is consumption expenditure is there, and that is from their past saving or borrowing. So always the saving starts from negative axis. That is, yeah, minus 40, then minus 20, and at this particular point again the saving is equals to 0. Why it is 0? Because the total income is equals to total consumption, and that is why your saving is equals to 0. So this saving curve touches this x-axis at this particular point, and then when above this point the saving curve starts rising in a positive axis, and this shows that the people start saving. That is, their additional income is increases, and their additional income increases, and their consumption expenditures does not increases equals to income. So the difference will be the income, that difference will be the saving. So that additional income people are utilizing for savings. So you can calculate MPS by this graph, that is change in S upon change in Y. This is saving curve. Previously your saving is this, and now the saving will be this. So this will be the rise in saving. Previously your saving will be this, now your increase in this will be income, and when income rises to y1 to y2, because of this increase in income their saving also increases from this R to P. So this is your change in S. So I have plotted PR, that is this is change in S. Now we increase in, this is increase in income. Your income increases from this to this, so this is additional income, so this is known as change in Y. So here I have write change in Y. So you can calculate MPS. MPS is equals to change in S upon change in Y. This is marginal propensity to save. That means the additional propensity of the people to save. That is the ability, additional capacity of the people to save. That is how the people are increasing their saving, because their income increases. So because of increase in additional income, the additional saving also rises. Now there must be important point regarding MPS, that is MPS always varies between 0 and 1. The value of MPS always varies between 0 and 1. When it is 1, if entire income is saved, if entire additional income people are used as a saving, so consumption will be 0, that then MPS is equals to 1. And if entire additional income is used for consumption, then saving is equals to 0, then the value of MPS will be 0. So always MPS always lies between 0 and 1, and MPS is a linear saving curve. This saving curve is known as the linear saving curve. This is upward moving curve. This upward moving curve shows that there is a positive relation between saving and income. Thus, as your income increases, the saving also increases. And this is known as the linear saving curve, because linear saving curve always comes when your MPS is increases in a constant level. When your income increases in a constant proportion, and according to the increase in income, your saving also increases in the constant proportion. That means it cannot be changed. Like here your saving always increases 20 crores, means it is not changing, it is constant. 20 crores rise in saving because of the 100 crores rise in income. So because of this constant MPS, your saving curve will be known as linear saving curve, straight line linear saving curve. Now understand all students what is MPS. Today I have explained you the different propensity to save, that is average propensity to save and the marginal propensity to save. Average propensity to save is the total saving from total income, and marginal propensity to save is the additional saving from additional income. Additional increase in income, due to the additional increase in income, your additional saving also rises, and this is known as MPS, that is marginal propensity to save. Income always we are denoting as equals to 1. So I am explaining you the relation between APC and APS. APC, you know, average propensity to consume, and APS is the average propensity to save. What is the relation between APC and APS? Both APC and APS comes from income. That is, consumption also we can do from the income, and saving also we can do from income. That is, in total income is either consumed or either saved. इनकम में से ही हम खर्च भी करते हैं और इनकम से ही हम सेविंग्स भी करते हैं. दैट इज वाई y इज इक्वल्स टू c प्लस एस. नाउ व्हेन वी डिवाइड बोथ साइड्स बाय y, when that means if we divide this equation by income, then y is equals to y upon y, that is c upon y and s upon y. So y and y cancel, it will become 1, that is total income. And total income, from this total income, c upon y means APC and s upon y means APS. So 1 is equals to APC plus APS. That is, APC plus APS is equals to 1, means income is either consumed or either saved. You can make, this is the formula 1. Now from this formula you can make another formula, that is, if you have to calculate APS, APS is equals to 1 minus APC. And if you want to calculate APC, so 1 minus APS. This is the relation between APC and APS. Now, students, relation between MPC and MPS. There is having the relation between MPC and MPS also. MPC, you know, MPC can be calculated by change in C upon change in Y. MPS means change in S upon change in Y. So, when change in income, when your income increases, that this change in income is also either we can consume or either we can save. That is additional, from this additional increase in income, either we can additional consumption expenditure rises or either additional saving rises. So change in y is equals to change in C plus change in S. When we divide both sides by change in y, so we can get change in y upon change in y is equals to change in c upon change in y, that is, and plus change in s upon change in y. So change in y and change in y both will cancel. This is equal, this is 1, and this change in c upon change in y is known as MPC, and change in s upon change in y is known as MPS. So this formula we can get, that is 1 means total national income, total income is equals to MPC plus MPS, means this is our total income, total national income, and that national income either we can utilize for additional consumption or either we can utilize for additional savings. Both will be will from a total income only. So if we have to calculate MPC, so MPC is equals to 1 minus MPS, and if we have to calculate MPS, then 1 minus MPC. So students, understand these, you have to remember these formulas and you have to solve the numericals also. So I think all of you can understand today's lecture, that the saving function, and previously I have explained you consumption function. So both saving function and consumption function you can learn properly and also learn these formulas also. Thank you.